But joining us now all the way from Johannesburg in South Africa is Paul Gorries. He is the head coach of the sprint relays of Athletics South Africa. The man, many credit for this historic achievement. Coach Paul, welcome to Game On. And first and foremost, let me applaud you. Congratulations on what was a historic performance by Team South Africa, by the South African quartet at the Olympic Games. First and foremost, tell us, how are you feeling right now?
I would say relief. At the project that I took on many years ago. A couple of championships, we run good heats, and then we get to the final, then we always have a hiccup, on third leg, no baton exchange. So yeah, for me, I'm more relieved than anything, but also I'm happy and grateful, that the vision that we've had so many years ago, we finally, got that medal that we worked for.
Okay, Coach Paul, I've been looking at this quartet and I'm absolutely astounded. And one name jumps out at me. That's Bayanda Walaza. That's the most impressive one of your quartet. Just 18 years old. He's the first South African sprinter, possibly the first African ever, to win an Olympic medal while still in high school. He'd never run a sub 10 ever in his life. His personal best is 10.13 seconds. I'm having goosebumps right now, because in this part of the world where I live in, they probably said, he's too young, he's not his time yet, wait for his time. But what gave you the impression that this kid, this child could go to the Olympics, and what made you put your faith in him? That's my question, really.
Look, I mean, he had a good season. He was second at our national senior championships, and then Bradley was third at our national senior championship. He was only 19 as well. So, and then you look, I mean, we actually had to change our team around, and because one of our athletes, Benjamin Richardson, he got injured in the 200, and he's a 9'8" guy. So, obviously, we had to look at what was available and who's going to put their hand up. Fortunately for us, Bayanda did that. He ran very well at world relays as well, so it's not the first time he was exposed. But obviously, this is Olympic Games; it's a bigger competition. So hats off to him, and he put his hand up, and he wasn't really fazed about the bigger names running with him. So he had one job to do, and the instruction was simple: and get out and make sure you get to Shaun and make that pass. That's it.
Well, and he executed brilliantly. And I'm looking at the rest of the quartet. And Bradley Nkoana, just 19 years old, personal best of 10.20 seconds, set way back in 2022, finished third at the South African Athletics Championships over 100 meters in 2024. Never run a sub 10 himself. Shaun Maswanganyi, he's been on the rise, 23 years old as well, two-time Olympian, a personal best of 9.91 seconds. That wouldn't have gotten him an Olympic medal, but he's the one of the few who has run a sub 10. And of course, there's the big dog. Akani Simbine, 30 years old, competed in 100 meters way back in 2013. He's been to, he's an African champion, a Commonwealth champion. He also holds the South African record of, I think it's 9.87 seconds as well. You look at this quartet.
982.
I beg your pardon, 982. That's...
Same with Bradley, his personal best is 10.03.
Hey, he keeps breaking the South African record. You look at this quartet, it's amazing. But it's not exactly, on paper, not exactly the fastest, but good enough to beat out the likes of the Jamaicans and some of the other big teams across the world. How do you go about putting such a fearsome squad together?
Hey, man, 4x1 is simple, man. Fast batting exchange and good exchanges wins you a relay. You don't always need 4 9-second guys, and I think we've seen it with the bigger countries. They've got 4 9-8 guys, 4 9-9 guys, but they don't always win the relay. So 4x1 is all about batting speed, and that was the thing that we focused on, and we've got quite a few camps more than what we had in the past. So and at the end of the day, if you look at the exchanges, was pretty decent. but there's still room for improvement on some of those exchanges as well.
Most definitely. The guys in the studios have questions for you as well.
Hi, Paul. Good evening. Congratulations once again.
Thank you.
Cheekily, we used to be your big brother in athletics, but these days, I mean, you guys have just taken it to another level. But I want you to give us an insight into, the program. I mean, what the program with SC Athletics, what it looks like, the process of discovering the talents, nurturing them, harnessing them, exposing them. Do you also take them through the NCAA system as well? Can you give us more insight into that? Because I get a feeling that we might be taking one or two nuggets from you on how to, properly, prepare our athletes going forward right here in Nigeria.
Look, I mean, some of our athletes, go to the NCAAs, like Shaun is one of them. He went to the NCAAs. The rest of our guys are pretty much, homebred. They train at home. They have their personal coaches at home. I think last year, after World Championships in Budapest, we had a pretty good run in the heats. I think we ran at 37.7. And, then we had a mess up in the final. And then the guys got together and we spoke. And the one thing that I've asked them, what is it that you guys need for us to make this work? And none of those boys even spoke about money or anything. The first thing they said is, we need more training camps. So when I got back home, that was my focus. I spoke to the federation to make sure that we get more training camps. Our National Olympic Committee, which is SASCOP, they came on board. They provided the funding for the training camps. So I think that was the difference going into World Championship, into Olympic Games this year. We were just a little bit more well prepared than previous championships.
Basically, that's preparation.
Yeah, Coach Paul, I want to ask you a tactical question. When putting together a good quartet, are you particular about youth, or are you particular about blending both youth and experience together? Or what is the major factor or key that helps you to put together a good quartet?
Just to add to that, Coach, how do you decide who runs what leg? What strengths? What do you look at? What key attributes do you look at and say, maybe you should take the first leg or the second leg or the ankle?
Look, when it came to, I like a blend of youth and experience. If you look at it, the guys are young. Shaun is in his second Olympics. Akani is 2016, 2021. So he was in his third Olympics. So it's a mixture of youth and experience. What I do like about the youth guys, a lot of them don't have fear, and those ones are the special ones. If I look at Bradley and Bayanda, not once were they scared of who they're running with. So, I look at that, and I look at character as well, and who brings what to the relay team as well, and who can fit in, at any, like I said, we had to make a last minute change. Shaun was initially going to start, and with Benjamin Richardson down the back straight. And then when Benjamin got injured, Shaun had to move to the back straight, and then we slot Bayanda in. And the guys were hungry and willing to do this. And we got that exchange right between Shaun and Bayanda, and Bradley and Bayanda within one session. So that was the big difference, the willingness and eagerness to do this.
Well, Coach, just before we let you go, I just want to ask a two-pronged question. You keep talking about tactics, preparation, and just telling your guys that, go and run your race. Don't be scared of who you're running. How much of this is really mental? How much of your coaching is really mental, getting into the heads of your athletes and ensuring that, they are well-honed and well-prepared come race day, or do you employ a psychologist? And secondly, before you're being accused of being being sexist, can we see an excellent 4x100 South African women's team anytime soon?
Look, that's the long-term plan for this, to get a South African 4x100 woman plan. I think that would be the focus from now that we got it right with the 4x1 men. We'll also look at a mixed team as well, mixed 4x4. And, obviously focus a little bit more on our 400-meter men. The 4x1 was a little bit of a longer project than the others. But we've got some good young talent that's coming through. So, definitely the plan would be, the focus for the next 4 years would be on the females and getting a strong female unit together, hopefully for 2028.
Well, Coach Paul Gorries, thank you so much for your time. It's been an absolute pleasure having you on the show. And I can assure you that we are already raising money here in Nigeria to hire you and bring you to Nigeria to come and take over our relay team, because it seems that you're the man with the silver touch now.
Talent and sub-10 guys, man. I don't get why you guys. I mean, you guys should have been in the final. I mean, you've got there's so many. If I look at the NCAA's, how many Nigerian athletes are competing there? And I mean, it doesn't take much to get a training camp together with most of those guys. A lot of those guys go to the same schools as well. So you need to communicate with the coaches, I think, on that side as well at the schools. And they will help you sort out quickly. I mean, I communicated a lot with Coach Carl Lewis in terms of where I see Shaun and where does Shaun fit, into the relay team. So when he walks into our setup, it's not something that he's not used to. So at school, he knows, okay, this is the position he's running because this is where we will use him in the South African team, But at school for him, he runs last leg. But, the guys need to be flexible to slot in anyway.
Well, Coach, I reiterate, we are raising money to bring you to Nigeria to come and take over our sprint relay teams. But thank you so much for joining us tonight, Coach Paul Gorries. Congratulations on the wonderful Olympic Games.
Thank you.
We'll be getting in touch with you subsequently. I'll probably bring you on the show when you come to Nigeria. When, not if, when you come to Nigeria. Thank you so much for your time.